Is the tracking working? Okay, I realized something about myself. I'm a hoarder. I hoard ideas, I hoard photos, I hoard my creativity. But that has gone on for way too long. Now, at 33 years old, I want to do something about it. A month ago, I started a 30-day cat photo challenge. Why cats? I love them. I've been photographing them ever since I got my first camera. The whole experience of sharing and posting on social media has been full of ups and downs and loads of trial and error. I'm really grateful I finished this challenge, even though there are plenty of self-doubt moments. So whether you're here to follow my journey or curious about my process, I want to share with you 3 key lessons I've learned from my experience. Action beats preparation. I've never been someone who shared consistently on social media. Sharing on social media is incredibly uncomfortable. And my perfectionism in the past has led me to my hoarding and take no action. But when I started this challenge, I quickly realized the importance of moving forward. By committing to this challenge and making a pact with myself, it forced me to change my mindset and approach to creating and sharing. For so long, I felt like my photos or any of my artwork weren't good enough to put out there. Back in 2019, I had this idea of starting a blog called Cats of Istanbul. I was inspired by all the cats and the people I met during my travel in Turkey. What really drew me to them is the freedom these cats seem to embody and also the kindness that people show them. So I took thousands of photos and collected them as I traveled. But as soon as I got back home, I became so overwhelmed with just the idea of putting my work out there and starting a whole new blog while juggling a full-time job. I pushed the idea aside and did nothing. It's 2025 now, and while the blog might not be as relevant to my life anymore, I still love cats. I still take photos of them. So I decided it's finally time to honor my original idea and start sharing these photos. But this time, my mindset has changed. It's not about building a portfolio or trying to build a photography career. It's about building momentum by posting one cat photo, one post every day for 30 days. Trust me, we will never feel fully prepared. But growing in action beats being stuck in preparation mode forever. The cycle of sharing, editing my photos, and also reminiscing the moments I take them has become my antidote to perfectionism. Of course, I would love to be meticulous and overthink every single detail, from the caption to the best time of day to post them. But that wasn't the point. Instead of overachieving, I focus on doing one thing well, honoring the pact I made with myself by posting one post every day for 30 days. Permission to be imperfect. I think permission to be imperfect is a key for any creatives. It's not about how others perceive us, but it's how we view ourselves. By embracing our current stage in our creative journey, we allow ourselves the freedom to be imperfect. You'll never know what will resonate with others if you're not willing to be vulnerable in public. Throughout this challenge, I'm learning to embrace my own messy beginnings, from the cringiness of posting on social media to the imperfection in my photo editing process. One thing I struggled with during this challenge was using Affinity Photo, a software I bought months ago but never opened it. Since I'm still a beginner in photography, my process of editing this photo kind of looks like only I can decipher what's going on. But this is something I just have to embrace now, even if it's just through clicking and trial and error. In a world where algorithms flood your feed with polished content, it's easy to forget that every creator starts with messy, imperfect steps. The path to creation will always be filled with vulnerability and discomfort. Whether something didn't go as we expected, or we have to hit Ctrl Z and start over again. Even if they're failed attempts, and trust me, there'll be many, just like the making of this video. These failed attempts allowed us to engage more deeply with our work. Over time, we'll learn what works and, just as importantly, what doesn't. As a scientist, I wish there were more negative results published and shared with others. I think the same is true in art. There are just as much value in knowing what works and what didn't. There are plenty of times during the challenge where I question myself whether I'll make it past day 10. But maybe because I declare it so publicly, my ego just wouldn't let me quit. Either way, it pushed me to keep going, and that's what mattered most. So far, this challenge has allowed me to slowly learn what I naturally gravitate towards, and also my style with every photo I choose to share. Your process. One thing I've learned from my own creative journey is that your art doesn't have to go viral. For a long time, I thought I need to be more prepared, to have everything planned out before I start sharing. But as I grew, I realized that's just not true. And it's not why I started this challenge or making this video anyway. I'm applying what I've learned as a scientist to my creative life, which is to experiment. Sometimes we think we need to be more prepared and have more skills and be more confident to be successful. But I think the real magic happens when you trust your process and just start where you are, even if no one else is watching. Because deep down, you know you're creating for yourself. Your process, your perspective, the way you see the world, how you frame your shots, those are all uniquely yours. Ironically, those are also the first thing you shut off. We end up imitating what we see around us, trying to fit into trends and templates. While imitation can be a stepping stone to creativity, it's important to remember what your unique voice will come through when you start trusting your own process. For me, the whole point of creating is to find freedom. If you were to ask me to sit down and pinpoint one core value I'm always chasing, it's freedom. And what could be freer than be unapologetically yourself and trust yourself completely? To me, that's what creativity is all about. Trusting yourself without holding back and letting that freedom lead the way. And there you have it, the lessons from my 30-day cat photo challenge. I wouldn't call my photos the traditional definition of photography by any means, but that's the whole point. I want to give myself the opportunity to explore what my version of it could be. As a scientist, I'm used to experimenting, so why not apply that to my creative journey? I like to capture not just what I see, but what I feel at the moment, and I'll continue to do so. I'm accepting the fact that everything will feel like a work in progress. Ideas will be half-formed and things won't always go as planned. But the only way for me to move forward is to keep showing up. So this is my first YouTube video. I'm super nervous, but also very excited. You wouldn't believe how many takes I've done and how many times I try to film myself talking to a camera. If this video resonated with you, I hope you consider subscribing. Thank you for being here with me through my messy beginnings. What's your cats of Istanbul? I hope this encouraged you to start where you are, even if it's imperfect and messy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you at my next experiment. Bye. Dangerous time, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.